Hello students. So we continue our discussion on case taking and we start with the discussion of aphorism number 93. So in 93 Dr. Henneman gives us the most important point, that is about the most obvious cause. So if this most obvious cause is present, then how to do the case taking in acute or chronic diseases. So the what is this the most obvious cause? So it is nothing but the very sensitive matters, the causes of disgraceful character in patient's life. So Dr. Henneman gives us number of examples. What could be the most obvious cause? So what could be the most obvious cause? See, for example, history of attempted suicide, poisoning, indulgence in debauchery, excess in wine, beverages or coffee, history of unfortunate love or domestic situations. Incidences in life lead to worry, grief, injured pride, embarrassment, fear, etc. So, various such causes patient finds difficult to confess. Okay, so Dr. Henneman tells us that be very careful in dealing with such sensitive matters. So the physician has to be extremely careful in inquiring about this situation of which are present in the patient's life. So it is very difficult for the patient to confess and he will not tell you at the first instance. So these are very sensitive matters. The causes of disgraceful character in the patient's life, which patient is not ready to tell you very easily. So, how to do this? So, the physician should question privately to the patient and his friends. And patient mentions this when he is carefully interrogated. So patient mentions this when carefully interrogated. So the most obvious cause are the very sensitive matters which might be present in patient's life. So how to go about the case taking about such patients is that Dr. Henneman cautions us that the physician has to be very careful in interrogating such incidences of patient's life. Patient may be questioned privately in a separate room, okay, and his friends can be questioned privately in separate room at separate times. So patient will give you the details when physician is sensitive enough and he is asking it in a careful manner. Okay, so various examples are narrated. What could be the most obvious cause? So let's see further. So the most obvious cause are the very sensitive matters. What are the examples? So the cases of poisoning or attempted suicide, history of onanism, indulgence in ordinary or unnatural debauchery, excess in wine, cordials, punch and other ardent beverages, alcohol or coffee. Overindulgence in eating generally or in same particular food of a hurtful character. So the food which is harmful, overindulgence into such food. The examples are given that the overindulgence into the alcohol, coffee, stimulants, okay, or having involved in many habits of addictions, they are very much to be inquired with very sensitively, very carefully. So history of infection with venereal disease in the past, history of unfortunate love, jealousy, domestic infelicity, all these very difficult situations in the patient's life. So at first instance, patient may not be feeling comfortable to narrate all such incidences. So physician has to be reassuring, he should be sensitive enough, and he should be careful also in considering all these life situations, and patient may tell these if taken into confidence. Okay, so these situations may be inquired separately in a and privately. Okay, so all these examples are given and you should keep it in mind. This Hahnemann labels it as the most obvious cause. Okay, so we go further. So again, the examples continued. So the patient with worry, grief on account of some family misfortune, the ill usage, balked revenge, injured pride, embarrassment of pecuniary nature, superstitious fears, and imperfection in the private parts, and so on and so on. The list is very much, it is so. But see, the intention of Dr. Hahnemann to list so many incidences. Why he is giving us such a big list? It is because Dr. Hahnemann doesn't want to leave any single point to be missed out by the physician. So he is very much meticulous and he is giving us all the minute details of instructions that how to do such case taking. So this is about the most obvious cause. We describe at very sensitive matters and the examples are narrated. I have tried to take all the examples, so I have prepared the 3 slides which are giving you the complete idea about the various examples which are narrated by Dr. Hahnemann. So the last instruction to the physician, what to do in such cases. So every obvious cause must be inquired with very caution and ask every question skillfully, and if necessary inquire separately to the patient and his relative or his friends. So what to do? Instruction given by Dr. Hahnemann to the physician that such causes must be inquired with very much caution and ask every question skillfully, sensitively, okay, and if necessary inquire separately to the patient and his relatives. Okay, so these are the various examples given by Dr. Hahnemann about the most obvious cause. So we proceed further. So case taking in chronic diseases. So in chronic diseases, physician must consider patient's occupation, mode of living, his diet, domestic situations. If you remember, this was also given in the aphorism number 5 at the start, that Dr. Hahnemann tells us very much in the beginning that all these factors such as patient's occupation, mode of living, his diet, domestic situations are very important for the development of chronic disease and needs to be inquired in details, so that if they are having any influence in the development of chronic disease, physician can advise and remove these factors from the patient. So physician will search for any maintaining causes if present. So in chronic diseases, physician must consider patient's occupation. So there are various occupational hazards. his mode of living with respect to hygiene, sanitation, safe and pure drinking water, his diet, it should be nutritious, wholesome, balanced diet, and various domestic situations. So, these factors must be considered while inquiring into the chronic diseases. So, if the patient comes with the chronic diseases, physician should inquire patient's occupation, mode of living, diet, and the domestic situations. And he will search if any of such maintaining causes are present. Now, if the chronic diseases of females, especially again Dr. Animan is giving us very much minute details of instructions. So in cases of females, physician should pay attention to the obstetric history, that is pregnancy, sterility, sexual desire, accouchements, miscarriages, the menstrual discharges, condition before and during menstruation, color of menstrual discharge, leukorrhea, that's its nature, quantity. So, in cases of females, obstetric history and menstrual history must be taken in details. We have remedies listed in Materia Medica having these modalities such as aggravation before menses, during menses. If it is amelioration after menses, we are having remedies in our Materia Medica. And of course, leukorrhea, the nature, the quantity, the odor, the color, all these are having the very much importance because they can be characteristic symptoms which point out to the selection of remedy. And the most important point further given is the mental state of this female before, during and after menses. And why we have to take such a details? Because in the Materia Medica the remedies are present and these symptoms can be characteristic symptoms which are helpful in the selection of similimum. So these are very much vital general symptoms of the patient in the cases of females. So history of pain, say dysmenorrhea and situations modifying it. So all these information should be taken in detail by physician. The most minute details should be found out. So case taking especially in chronic diseases. So physician must inquire patient's occupation, mode of living, diet, domestic situations which can influence the patient's chronic diseases. So search for the maintaining causes and the advice should be given to the patient to remove these maintaining causes. So we go further. So case taking in chronic diseases, what are the difficulties physician may face? So patient may get used to long sufferings and may not pay any attention to the symptoms which may be important, which patient may ignore. These are called as accessory symptoms. So, patient may get used to long sufferings and may not pay any attention to these symptoms which may be actually important. But due to their long sufferings, patient may ignore it. For example, if patient is suffering from constipation since 5 years and he is coming with to the homeopathic physician with the complaint of, say, the joint pains or hyperacidity. He may not tell that he is having constipation, and these symptoms are called as accessory symptoms. And why do they called as accessory symptom? And these symptoms patient has ignored it because of long sufferings. Patient has ignored it because of long sufferings. So consider them as part of normal health. So patient is so much habituated that he gets very much accustomed with these sufferings of these symptoms, and he considers them as part of the normal health. These are characteristic symptoms for choice of similimum, and they help in individualization. So patient may not tell this because he is habituated to its sufferings. So patient does not understand that these symptoms may be important in connection with his disease, and patient does not narrate such symptoms to the physician. Only two important points here: that patient is suffering for long time and he may ignore it. He may get used to this suffering so much that now he has forgotten that this symptom is very abnormal and he is just living with it. So patient will not narrate this to the physician, and sometimes these accessory symptoms are so important that they point out to the choice of similimum. Okay, so these are from aphorism 95 starts the difficulties in chronic diseases. So first important is patient may not tell this about these accessory symptoms. Two reasons: that he is used to such a long sufferings, and he may not find it very important to tell to the physician. He may ignore it, but these symptoms may act as characteristic symptoms for choice of similimum and individualization. Okay, so we go to the next, that is aphorism number 96. All of you know that you have learned this is 96 is nothing but about hypochondriac patients. So who are hypochondriacs? Hypochondriacs are patients who are sensitive to their sufferings and have imaginary trouble. They are impatient, describe their symptoms in too vivid colors, and intention is that physician will give them immediate relief. So hypochondriacs are patients who are sensitive to sufferings, have imaginary troubles, and they are impatient and describe their symptoms in too vivid colors. बड़ा चढ़ा के बात करना about his sufferings. So what is his intention? That physician will pay attention to him and will give him immediate relief. Okay, so that's why he will just describe his symptoms and maybe imaginary also in too vivid colors. Hypersensitive patients have some symptoms, but they exaggerate the symptoms. Hypochondriacs in such patients may have imaginary troubles, and whereas hypersensitive patients may exaggerate the symptoms. Why patient does like this? Because They want immediate relief from the physician. And other important aspects are they want to seek attention of the physician, they want to obtain fast recovery and good treatment. So they will feel that unless I describe it in two vivid colors means I am going to describe them, the imaginary trouble in very heightened way. So to seek the attention of the physician and his attendants, to obtain fast recovery and for good treatment, they will expect that physician will give them the immediate relief. And hypersensitive patients exaggerate their symptoms. Okay, so let's see further about 96. So what physician should do in hypochondriacs? If it is pure fabrication of symptoms, give placebo and the complaints will disappear as they were false imaginary symptoms. So in second condition, those patients who are hypersensitive, so they exaggerate their symptoms. So remove these exaggerated symptoms from the real ones and look for factor to which patient is hypersensitive. So you can look for the factors, for the things, or can search that is it the weather he is getting problem and to what factors the patient is hypersensitive. Physician differentiates the insane patients. So suffering from mental disease, they can exaggerate the symptoms. So we have to remove such category of patients. So if the patient is insane, lost his mind, he may exaggerate the symptoms. Feigners of disease are those who mimic the sickness, who mimic the disease. They pretend to be sick even when they are not. So feigners of disease means they are lying that they are suffering from some symptoms. So they are pretending to be sick even when they are not. They malinger the disease and have malicious intentions and prove incapacitation. So, such hypochondriacs are physicians should differentiate from insane patient and feigners of disease. So you should remove these and then the physician is getting expertise in handling various types of patients. So 96 aphorism about hypochondriacs. So he will pay attention if the patient is insane, he may exaggerate the symptoms and the physician will understand that the patient is exaggerating the symptoms. Feigners of disease means who are pretending they are sick even when they are not. They malinger the disease and they have very much revengeful intentions. Okay, they are feigners of diseases. Again, they are feigners of diseases. Feign sickness means pretending that they are sick even if they are not. They are called as feigners of sickness. Remember this. Feigners of disease can be asked as 2 marks question. Okay, so we proceed further. The difficulties again are there with the indolent patients. Suppose how to do the case taking in case of hypochondriacs we saw in the 96th aphorism and now indolent patients in the 97th aphorism. So patients do not narrate the symptoms completely. This is called as indolence. Patients due to indolence, laziness don't want to give detailed answers. So patients due to indolence and laziness don't want to narrate their symptoms. Okay, so Why they don't want to narrate their symptom? It is because of either false modesty, that is reserved nature, and limits from false beliefs. So false modesty, shyness, reserved nature, limits from false beliefs, they are called as indolent patients, right? Or otherwise due to their disposition, which is very much mild, weakness of mind, they are timid in nature and kindness, they don't want to waste others time or energy, so they are having very weak mild disposition. Third point about indolent patient is weakness of mind. So these patients are mentally retarded. Children doesn't know own symptoms or non-observation of own symptoms. So that is due to weakness of mind. So mentally retarded children, mentally retarded persons or children who doesn't know the own symptoms, or there is non-observation of the own symptoms owing to the weak mind. So they refrain from mentioning the symptoms to the physician. So they refrain from, what is refrain from? They are not mentioning their symptoms to the physician. They describe the symptoms in very much vague manner. So this was all about the indolent patient. So the difficulties in the case taking with respect to the hypochondriacs, hypersensitive patients, fears of sickness and other category of patient is about the indolent patient. Because of false modesty, shyness, laziness, they don't narrate the any symptoms to the physician, and they refrain from mentioning the symptoms to the physician. So they describe the symptoms in very much vague manner. So in such cases, physician has to be very careful, and he may have to dig out the information from the such patients. Okay, so 97th aphorism is about indolent patients. So today's presentation we discussed about the various obvious causes, then how to do the case taking in hypochondriacs and indolent patients. Okay, so all of you go through this presentation, and I have given the minutest details possible, and all of you must learn it properly. Okay, thank you.